Hey, Marcus here, Sword and Sci-Fi guy. So many of you have asked me to cover the weapons in RWBY that if I had $1 for every time that somebody did, then I'd have enough for, I don't know, a freezer full of frozen pizzas. But since I don't have those pizzas yet, let me break down the designs of the big 4 RWBY weapons plus a couple bonus ones. The Scythe gun, it's initially really compact, which is awesome. We don't really have Mass Effect-like technology where you could do that, but given some modern rifle designs, it's not totally impractical. And after the Scythe comes out, I'll get to the infamous recoil-based cut in a minute, but this clip right here is what made me think that a Scythe was a surprisingly good choice. Here she uses it like a shooting stick or monopod, which has been used to help people manage the weight and steady the aim of weapons since about the 15th century with the arquebus. Having a scythe to fill that role is surprisingly smart, because most other polearms wouldn't be big enough. And I do really like that it's a melee weapon combined with a firearm. That offers a lot of versatility at different ranges, because, you know, we had bayonets and those were good at that too. But this scythe is way too big for a mortal human to use. You know, I couldn't not say that. Scythes could be used as weapons, but they were never really ideal since the bulk of the wounding ability comes from pulling them towards yourself or hitting with the awkwardly shaped tip. And that's one thing that I don't like about the recoil-based cut. She's moving a sharp blade closer to her, along with her enemy. However, it's a really cool idea that obviously comes in handy in a bind. As a bit of a side note, there was one formal martial art that revolved around scythe use, although that was just some rich dude named Paulus Hector Meyer hiring 2 fencers to invent some scythe moves as a sort of medieval meme. He wasn't really that good with his money. But overall, this isn't absolutely ridiculous. If the setting had some advanced polymers, then it could work pretty well. Oh, I guess I should say that I have watched the first 2 installments of this, but that was around the time when they first came out, so it's been a while. The rapier. I have a soft spot for top break revolvers, so this one just really makes me happy. You need to have an incredibly robust locking mechanism in order to use the sword as an actual sword, but theoretically it could work even though it's not full tang. One point in its favor is how it doesn't fire bullets. It fires up magical dust powder that coats the blade with magic. This makes the design more functional since you don't need to worry about adding a barrel. And I really like that type of magic enhancement in general because it really reminds me of the Dark Souls resins. Her fighting style is done really well too. Some of her moves are punctuated with ballet or other dance moves, and that is a great way to add characterization during combat. However, the sword looks like it doesn't have the best edge, so cuts with it wouldn't really be ideal. It's more of a rapier small sword type thing. And since I'm at the midpoint, insert standard YouTuber asking for engagement if you like the video here. Hey, editing Marcus here. I realize that the rapier has these pointy downy bits, which I generally don't like because they can just jab your hand like this. However, seeing as how it's more of a rapier side sword design, that's not too relevant because those are meant to be held in a more kind of handshake grip or fingering the guard if there's a guard there to finger. This is a punch gun, and the way that she works the slide is really cool. It's a great detail. They added a ton of great details with this weapon. And punch guns did exist historically. As I recall, they never actually saw any combat use, and they were designed to help somebody evade capture by having the gun on the back here, and you raise your hands and they can't see the actual gun. When somebody's coming to capture, you just punch them. This design is pretty good. She's got solid protection all across her arms, big beefy fists for punching, and it has the barrel slightly in front of the fist. Not only can it enhance her punches, but she can use it as a ranged weapon. I doubt it's as effective as the Scythe rifle, but it gives her a lot of versatility. Oh, and the Mook here, his sword kind of looks like an Uruk-Hai sword from Lord of the Rings. Not exactly the best design, but not the worst, and definitely functional. These can help with mobility too, and that is really cool. And I'm thrilled that they have her reloading with ammo belts instead of just assuming that it's an infinite weapon like a lot of things do. And skipping ahead to this dude's baseball bat rocket launcher, I mean, an RPG-7 weighs about 15 pounds, so you could definitely hit things with it after you fire, if you wanted to. And this one seems lighter and more ergonomic, because it's a baseball bat. However, rocket launchers are usually high-value weapons, as in you really want to have them in case you need to use them against something, so using them as a melee weapon wouldn't exactly be something that everybody would do. This weapon here is the most weapons of all the weapons, and it's really realistic up until a certain point. You definitely could make a scabbard that had a blade on it, and you could even use a mix of materials like steel and carbon fiber to make it light enough to use as an actual sword. And then she pulls out the blade and it's a katana, and that's, that the blade's just a katana, so it works as a sword. And if you wanted to, you could definitely attach a gun to it, just make sure that the tang is offset, so that way you have full structural support. This looks kind of like a Glock, is shaped like a guard. Although it wouldn't be the best guard unless you're okay with it getting damaged and never being able to fire it again. So up until this point, it is pretty feasible. However, the blade folds in order to be a thrown weapon. Having a blade fold is really problematic because it introduces weak points along the hinges. And if a blade were to break, then it would break there. It also hurts cutting potential because thin blades cut better, and adding hinged joints on the back requires more thickness, so it wouldn't go through something as easily. Throwing it around would kind of work. Blades on ropes are really difficult to get edge alignment with because they're always flopping around. So it would be better at inflicting bludgeoning damage plus maybe cutting something. It would be really similar to a meteor hammer. But firing it while it's going through the air in order to redirect it, while really cool, even if we could figure out how to pull the trigger, well, that's, connected at the end of the rope, it would be difficult to control where it goes. So that's the least practical part, and that's probably the least practical of all the weapons that I've covered. As for this dude's katana, it definitely wouldn't be the most difficult thing to attach a gun to the scabbard. Though actually having it fire a projectile would be a little bit more difficult than using a captured bolt system that helps Jetstream Sam from Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance draw his blade. This might seem a little bit off-brand for me, but I think a lot of the weapons in RWBY are really well thought out and sometimes even theoretically possible, although often too big.